The 1987 and 1988 NBA season was the 47th season of the National Basketball Association. The season began November 6, 1987 and ended on April 24, 1988. Michael Jordan becomes the only player in NBA history to win both the scoring title and Defensive Player of the Year honors. He is also the only player in NBA history to combine these awards with the season's Most Valuable Player award. Larry Bird becomes the first player in NBA history to enter the 50-40-90 club more than once and in consecutive seasons. CBS begins broadcasting the NBA games in stereo. The number 1 draft pick was David Robinson, selected by the San Antonio Spurs. Spot World, welcome to NBA Rap. Those are some quick facts about this season. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you're new. Let's get to the team records. Leading the West in the league were the Los Angeles Lakers with a 62-win, 20-loss season, followed by the Denver Nuggets, 54-28, Dallas Mavericks, 53-29, Portland Trailblazers, 53-29, Utah Jazz, 47-35, Houston Rockets, 46-36, Seattle Supersonics, 44-38, and San Antonio Spurs, 31-51. Missing the playoffs were the Phoenix Suns, 28-54, Sacramento Kings, 24-58, Golden State Warriors, 20-62, and Los Angeles Clippers, 17-65. The East was led by the Boston Celtics, 57 wins, 25 losses, followed by the Detroit Pistons, 54-28, Chicago Bulls, 50-32, Atlanta Hawks, 50-32, Milwaukee Bucks, 42-40, Cleveland Cavaliers, 42-40, Washington Bullets, 38-44, and New York Knicks, 38-44. Missing the playoffs were the Indiana Pacers, 38-44, Philadelphia 76ers, 36-46, and New Jersey Nets, 19-63. Let's make our way to the season leaders in All-Star Game. Leading the league in scoring, Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, averaging 35 points per game. Leading the league in assists, John Stockton of the Utah Jazz, averaging 13.8 assists per game. Leading in rebounds, Michael Cage of the Los Angeles Clippers, averaging 13 rebounds per game. The steals leader went to Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, averaging 3.2 steals per game. Leading the league in blocks, Mark Eaton of the Utah Jazz, averaging 3.7 blocks per game. The 38th National Basketball Association All-Star Game was played on February 7, 1988 at Chicago Stadium in Chicago. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scored 10 points in 14 minutes to give him 247 career All-Star Game points and the title as the game's number 1 all-time scorer. But it was Michael Jordan who wrapped up his night with the game's MVP award, leading the East to 138-133 win after totaling 40 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 4 blocks. Jordan started off his MVP weekend with a bang, taking home a second straight dunk contest title in a memorable showdown with Dominique Wilkins in the final. At the three-point shootout, Larry Bird dominated once again to claim his 3rd and final title in the event. The Eastern Conference All-Stars were Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons, Moses Malone of the Washington Bullets, Dominique Wilkins and Doc Rivers of the Atlanta Hawks, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Danny Ainge of the Boston Celtics, Charles Barkley and Maurice Cheeks of the Philadelphia 76ers, Patrick Ewing of the New York Knicks, and Brad Daugherty of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were coached by Mike Fratello of the Atlanta Hawks. The Western Conference All-Stars, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers, Alex English and Fat Lever of the Denver Nuggets, Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz, Clyde Drexler and Steve Johnson, who missed the game due to injury, of the Portland Trailblazers, Mark Aguirre and James Donaldson of the Dallas Mavericks, Alvin Robertson of the San Antonio Spurs, and Xavier McDaniel of the Seattle Supersonics. They were coached by Pat Riley of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's time to get into our award winners, and you know we need that Rookie of the Year award here in Spa World, so just leave a like real quick, hit that sub button, and let's do it. The MVP of the season went to Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, averaging 35 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. The Rookie of the Year went to Mark Jackson of the New York Knicks, averaging 13.6 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 10.6 assists per game. The Defensive Player of the Year went to Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. The Sixth Man of the Year went to Roy Tarpley of the Dallas Mavericks, averaging 13.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. The most improved player of the season went to Kevin Duckworth of the Portland Trail Blazers, averaging 15.8 points and 7.4 rebounds in 28.5 minutes per game. Coach of the Year went to Doug Moe of the Denver Nuggets. Making the All-NBA First Team, Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics, averaging 29.9 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 6.1 assists per game. Charles Barkley of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 28.3 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game. Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, averaging 22.8 points, 12.1 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game. Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, averaging 35 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. And Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 19.6 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 11.9 assists per game. Making the All-NBA Second Team, Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz, averaging 27.7 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.4 assists per game. Dominique Wilkins of the Atlanta Hawks, averaging 30.7 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game. Patrick Ewing of the New York Knicks, averaging 20.2 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. Clyde Drexler of the Portland Trail Blazers, averaging 27 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game. And John Stockton of the Utah Jazz, averaging 14.7 points, 13.8 assists, and 3 steals per game. Making the All-NBA Rookie Team, Derek McKee of the Seattle Supersonics, Cadillac Anderson of the San Antonio Spurs, Mark Jackson of the New York Knicks, Kenny Smith of the Sacramento Kings, and Armin Gillen of the Phoenix Suns. Making the NBA All-Defensive First Team, Kevin McHale of the Boston Celtics, Rodney McRae and Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, Michael Cooper of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. Making the NBA All-Defensive Second Team, Buck Williams of the New Jersey Nets, Karl Malone and Mark Eaton of the Utah Jazz, Patrick Ewing of the New York Knicks, Alvin Robertson of the San Antonio Spurs, and Fat Lever of the Denver Nuggets. Here we are at the most important part of the season, the playoffs. In the Eastern Conference first round, Boston defeated New York 3-1. Detroit sent home Washington 3-2. Chicago beat Cleveland 3-2. And Atlanta defeated Milwaukee 3-2. In the Western Conference first round, the Los Angeles Lakers swept San Antonio 3-0. Denver eliminated Seattle 3-2. Dallas beat Houston 3-1. And Utah defeated Portland 3-1. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, Boston defeated Atlanta in 7 games. And Detroit defeated Chicago 4-1. In the Western Conference semifinals, the Los Angeles Lakers won over Utah in 7, and Dallas defeated Denver 4-2. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Detroit advanced over Boston 4-2 to make it to the finals. And in the Western Conference Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers beat Dallas in 7 to advance to the finals. The 1988 NBA Finals was played through June 7th to June 21st, featuring the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Detroit Pistons. This was the first NBA Finals since 1983 not to feature the Boston Celtics. Game 1 of the Forum saw the Lakers tired, coming off back-to-back 7-game series. By halftime, the Pistons had a 57-40 lead and never looked back. Adrian Dantley led the Pistons with 34 points and secured a 105-93 win. Facing the possibility of going down 2-0 with 3 games to play in Detroit, the Lakers pulled one out on their home court, winning 108-96, led by James Worthy's 26 points and Magic Johnson's 23-point, 11-assist flu game double-double. Now at the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan, Magic once again fought through his flu and had 18 points, 14 assists, and 6 rebounds, leading his team to a 99-86 win and going up 2-1 in the series. Game 4, the Pistons' offensive plan was to attack the basket and make Magic Johnson defend, which then landed him in foul trouble early in the second half. Detroit was able to capitalize on this and build a lead, blowing out the defending champions 111-86. Now at their third home game, the Lakers scored the game's first 12 points, relying on their big men. However, they once again found themselves facing foul trouble. And with Adrian Dantley's 25 points and Joe Dumars' 19, the Pistons won 104-94, finding themselves 1 win away from the chip. By the third quarter of Game 6, the Lakers led 56-48. Isaiah Thomas then started to explode with one of his career-defining games, scoring his team's next 14 points. With around 5 minutes left in the quarter, Thomas rolled his right ankle and collapsed on the floor. Despite a severe sprain, Thomas returned to the game with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left, and the Lakers up 74-66. Thomas, with his bad ankle, scored 11 of the Pistons' last 15 points of the quarter to finish with 25. An NBA Finals finals record for one quarter on 11 of 13 shooting to take an 81-79 lead. After a wild series of events, the Lakers ended up winning the game with a close final score of 103-102. Let me know if you guys want an in-depth video on that game. This was the first Game 7 since 1984 and the first to be played under the 2-3-2 format. Isaiah Thomas was still dealing with the ankle injury, and while he managed to lead his team to a 52-47 halftime lead, his second half minutes were limited and the Lakers were able to be up 90-75 by the early fourth. The Pistons switched to a lineup featuring Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Joe Dumars, and Benny Johnson, who were able to cut the lead to only one. The Lakers were able to clutch the game out due to James Worthy, AC Green, and Magic Johnson's play in the final minutes to win the game 108-105 and wrap their season up with the chip. Worthy racked up a monster triple-double, 36 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists. It would prove to be the only triple-double in Worthy's Hall of Fame career. For that and his earlier efforts in the series, he was named the Finals MVP, cementing his nickname Big Game James, averaging 22 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game in 7 games. Michael Cooper, Magic Johnson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are the only members of all 5 Lakers championship teams from the 1980s. Pat Riley is the only coach that was on all 5 Lakers championship teams from the 1980s. One of his most famous moments came when he promised the crowd a repeat championship during the Lakers' 1987 championship parade in downtown Los Angeles. The Showtime Lakers made it happen. Spot World, that's wraps on today's episode of NBA Rap. Please hit that like button. Please sub if you're new. Please leave a comment, anything about ball. It helps get the video into the algorithm and keeps us going. If you want to keep learning more about ball, you can do that right there.